everybody. Doing a special episode of Sweet Lou Special. Got my good friend Jake here. How's it going, bud?
Pretty good, man. How you been?
Been good. Yeah, we're working hard, hardly working,
Yeah, American dream.
Yeah. Hey, so I wanted to get this episode kind of started off with, talking about the QAnon and shit.
Yeah.
And, talk about some of the stuff that's going on pre-election, what are some, I guess, quote unquote conspiracy theories. I know we're not supposed to be saying that fucking term anymore because,
Correct.
it comes with a negative connotation now.
Yeah.
But,
But we can't deny that. I mean, and the fact that it is a conspiracy that is happening within not just our nation, but worldwide. And I truly do believe there's a great awakening happening.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get started with the QAnon stuff because I think there's a lot of misinformation that's going out there. Some Russian disinformation.
Correct.
That's a popular term they want to say now.
Well, yeah. So I mean, since since the beginning of Trump's entire election, it was always based around Russia this and Russia that, and now it's coming to light that the Bidens and the left have had a lot of affiliation with Russia, and it's truly coming to light with the whole Hunter thing that's been going around.
Oh yeah.
That's been pretty intense. A lot of information about Hunter, and I just watched a video. I think Trump just posted it on his site of Biden denying everything about his son, the collusion with the oil company, and the whole receiving money from Ukraine.
My son did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe not, legally per se, but getting into a position of power with a foreign government, on your daddy's name, that's kind of kind of a bad thing.
It is a bad thing.
Yeah.
but
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So, what is QAnon? I mean, you follow it pretty closely. Where does it start? What's the whole premises of it?
So, to get to QAnon, it started a little bit before 2017. The first post was reported in October of 2017, and before QAnon was a thing, I believe Meganon was the first to start exposing a lot of this truth about the deep state and a lot about Jeffrey Epstein and the island. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about does revolve around Jeffrey Epstein because that is, I want to say, probably I wouldn't say the key point, but one of the key points into exposing what a lot of the followers, including myself, want to believe that there is a conspiracy that is lurking throughout the entire world in control, manipulation, and it goes even deeper into the media and exposing pedophilia and controlling our own consciousness. It gets even deeper. I mean, whether you're into a political or biblical standpoint, a lot of it relates together, and that's what I was explaining earlier. There is a great awakening happening, and it's not just in the U.S., it's globally. People are finally, and there's QAnons everywhere. I mean, even in France, Egypt, you name it, dude. Everywhere in the world, people are coming up and talking about what's going on.
Yeah. Isn't it it's like the big premise of QAnon? It has to do with the child trafficking, and you say that it derives a lot on Jeffrey Epstein, and I wanted to bring this up as a precursor, and there's this belief that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't the first,
No,
nor is he probably going to be the last. I don't know if you're aware of the one man. I can look up his name, but he's in prison in Belgium for the rest of his life, supposedly, or 10 more years or some shit like that. But he was convicted of trafficking minors and women for high class elites, off of in Europe. Are you aware of that guy?
No. I might have read a couple articles on it. Like I said, it is a global thing. So I've been focusing a lot on what's going on in the U.S. But if you want to fill me in on that, I'm going to take notes on it.
Guy. So it's Belgian man in prison for sex trafficking. I should probably say human trafficking.
Yeah.
Okay, Marc Dutroux.
Marc Dutroux.
Yeah. Marc and last name Dutrous.
Okay.
If you look up this guy, yeah. So Martin, let's see, Marc Dutroux. He was is a Belgian convicted serial killer, rapist, and child molester. Dutroux was convicted in 1989 for the abduction and rape of 5 young girls with his then wife, Michelle Martin, and other accomplices. He was released on parole after 3 years in prison. Okay, see, this becomes a trend. And then in 1996, Dutroux was arrested on suspicion of having kidnapped, tortured, and sexually abused 6 females aged between 8 and 19, 4 of whom died. His widely publicized trial took place in 2004. Dutroux was convicted of all charges, along with the murder of his suspected former accomplice, and sentenced to life imprisonment. Dutroux's accomplices include Michelle Martin, Mitchell Liveret, blah, blah, blah. 30 years in prison is what he was convicted, or Martin, his accomplice. So, like, when I read this, and I found this, like, someone had posted, like, on Facebook, and I decided to dig into it. But look at the parallels to this between this guy and Jeffrey Epstein. Granted, this guy's still alive, but however, he went to prison once in 1989 for abduction and rape of 5 girls, and then he only did a couple years. He was released on parole after 3. Epstein went to prison in 06, and was released again. And was released for the first time, and then did all this shit, and then arrested and convicted. And then he had his wife, which was his accomplice. It's like Ghislaine was his accomplice.
But she was the mastermind behind it all. Jeffrey wasn't.
Really?
Well, from what I've been reading, I mean, even the Netflix TV series, I don't know if you saw it, they have a whole thing on Jeffrey Epstein. They even came out about it too. She was the mastermind behind it all. She was the one that was going to like schools and going to certain events and bringing in these women and then introducing Jeffrey into them. And Jeffrey would then convert them to, do sexual pleasures and massages and all kinds of weird shit and give them false promises, come work for me and you'll have the life of, of lavish, I guess you can say.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of disgusting, and a lot of these women came out and exposed it. I forgot the one lady, the famous lady. I didn't write her name down, but she talked about Epstein, talked about Prince Andrew.
Yeah,
and even reported it to the FBI, and the FBI did nothing until decades later.
Is it Virginia Roberts?
I think that's her. She's a blonde girl.
Yeah.
And,
oh wow, she's from Sacramento.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But it just gets deeper and deeper into that. But to get back into the whole QAnon thing, a lot of people, and I was watching, a lot of the mainstream media just criticize QAnon for being false and not spewing any information. It's all fake facts and stuff. When you go through the posts, it's nothing fake. It's just Q talks in code exposing what is going to happen or what will happen, and things do actually happen. And I could go into a lot of these posts too if you want me to. We'll look some of them up. But to get to what I was saying is that a lot of it that Q posts is actual information, articles that mainstream media does post, but for some reason misinterprets a lot of the information. It's exposing the fact that the media is lying. And a lot of us do know that the media is lying. And you've talked about it before in a lot of your other posts and podcasts.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a spread of misinformation. And currently we're in an information warfare.
Yeah, it's... yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And because I don't know where it comes from of, like, why they keep saying that, QAnon is like a dangerous conspiracy theory, because obviously you're going to have a lot of left-wing media that's going to be trying to say that,
Right. We live in America where we have the freedom of speech. We can speak and say whatever we want. And the nice thing we also have is called free will, where we choose freely what we want to believe. And a nice quote that I got from a YouTube channel that I follow called Spirit Science. Very cool. Check them out. Have an open mind when you watch them. They tell you to have an open mind and to do the research yourself. They're just regurgitating the information from what they've studied from scientists and etc. But one of the neat things that they said, and this isn't verbatim, but the ability to change one's belief will change one's life, creating a reality one seeks.
Mm.
And that's very true. If you tell yourself you're going to have a very happy life, you will live a very happy life. If you keep telling yourself you're going to be a bum and you're not going to succeed in life and do nothing with it, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Our consciousness is completely gone. It's controlled by some type of evil being or something that surrounds us, because everything we look on TV, entertainment, media, it's always spewing negativity. You never see anything positive. And it disgusts me, because that's not who we are as humans. We're supposed to be sharing positivity, being united, not divided. I mean, for God's sake, you look on CNN, it's only talking about division.
Yeah.
Purposefully. I'm tired of that. And that's causing more and more of the cause of being divided.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's it is. It's it's just a lot of fear mongering, as I said in one of my last episodes. And that's what the left, and that's what like a lot of these media outlets they thrive on, unfortunately. And it's it is complete bullshit. And I think that there's a lot of truth on here. And a friend of mine has said that like QAnon is losing his legitimacy because the person who really started the movement or started it he's been like arrested, or like he's already out of the scene, and like other people are just like trolling the movement, trolling the whole QAnon thing, and like making it delegitimizing it. I don't know if you heard anything about that.
I hear random stuff all the time. I even read something that somebody showed me, saying that they found out that Q was living on a pig farm in the Philippines, and they caught the guy. It's some stupid ass article. It made no sense at all. It had nothing to do with what the Q posts ever talk about, or because we don't know who Q is. We believe it's a team. We believe it's Trump. There's even people that go as far into the conspiracy that it's JFK Jr. and he never died. I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of far fetched, but we do live in 2020 right now, and anything is a reality, could be a reality. I'm not saying it's true. Do I want to believe it? Sure, I want to believe it, but I don't necessarily think it's true. But there's a lot to it. There's a lot of people that have died, famous people that have died, and they believe it's part of the cause for Q. And this will blow your mind if you get a chance to see this. If I might have sent it to you through text, if you look up information on Princess Diana, the JFKs, even Michael Jackson, see who one of their closest friends were, and they all relate to the Trumps.
Really?
Yes. And this is another interesting one. Go on Google, an aerial view, and look up the JFK Jr. Memorial, and tell me what you see.
JFK Memorial?
Yeah. All right. The JFK Jr. Memorial.
Oh, JFK Jr. Memorial. Let's take a look.
Do an aerial view of it and tell me what you see.
Aerial view, huh? Let's take a look. Hold on. Google. Where you at? Google Chrome. There we go.
There we go.
Aerial view of JFK Jr.
Memorial.
Images. It's a Q.
Oh. Now, I want you to look at Princess Diana's memorial.
Princess Diana Memorial. Aerial view. Yeah, it's almost like a Q, yeah. Circular.
Now I want you to look up Neverland Ranch, and I want you to see an aerial view right behind the mansion itself. I want you to tell me what you see.
Neverland Ranch. You said behind it?
Yeah, it's on the far right corner. There's an aerial view. There's some photos that'll show it, but you'll see a certain image of MJ. But look at Michael Jackson's really neat memorial image.
Oh, I'm trying to see here, and there's different ones. Like where the big clock is?
Okay, so not the clock. On the top, there's a hill that's right behind the mansion, and on that hill, you'll see something very familiar.
Up on the hill. I don't know. I don't.
Let me see if I can send it to you, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. Oh,
match.
I see what you're talking about.
Do you see it now?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? It's like a little kid in a circle. It's like almost
It's
like a
Michael
cube.
Jackson. It's Michael Jackson in a circle, but his leg is sticking out.
Yeah,
And what is it? What
it
does the
looks like
image
a
show?
cube.
It looks like a damn cue, man.
What
And
the
it
fuck?
gets okay. Yeah, like I said,
What the
it
fuck?
it's really interesting. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's true, but a lot of people out there
Whoa.
have been speculating this.
Yeah,
And
I'll save these images and
yeah,
yeah, I'll see it. Wow, that's crazy. So what is it like?
yeah.
What is the Q supposed to represent?
So there is, okay, we both served in the service. We know that there's different levels of security clearances, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have your secret, you have your top secret. There's a couple more on top of that as well. They believe it's a military uh, secrecy under Q, and it's Q something, and they took that as the movement. So we believe the operation for QAnon is possibly military.
I'm gonna copy save these images because this is fucking weird. So you got Diana, Dirty Diana.
And I mean, let's look back into Princess Diana's story. Like we all know, a lot of people speculated that her death was not an accident.
No, 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 no.
She knew about the royal family. She was going to expose the truth.
Yeah, and wasn't she like pregnant by supposedly by the Egyptian dude?
Egyptian guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a big no-no on their
What a
part.
trip.
But yeah, the conspiracy gets deeper. The JFKs, and then we'll go back to JFK and the assassination of JFK. I mean, still to this day, it's a big mystery to the actual truth. The government only released so much information; they only wanted us to know. And I mean, JFK during that time was going to make significant changes into the U.S.
Yeah.
to better not just our economy but our livelihoods, to bring back what our forefathers actually wanted. And I guess certain individuals did not want that because it didn't go to their
You're
dark plan.
you're talking about JFK Senior, the president, or JFK Junior?
No, the senior, the president.
Senior, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because the CIA got him killed. It's as simple as that.
So they say.
Oh, yeah. So they say, but I kind of have like no doubt. Have you ever listened to that whole Tom O'Neill shit on Chaos with the background of Charles Manson?
I think you sent it to me. I think I watched part of that. It was actually really interesting, and I remember you talking about the John Manson thing.
Yeah, bro, this entire fucking thing. I mean, let me write this down. So, you mind if we go just a little bit off topic?
Ooh, no, that's by all means.
But okay. So for those of you out there that don't know, like you can check out the JRE episode with Tom O'Neill on it, and talks about his book Chaos. And like, so there. You know of MK Ultra? Yes, right. I didn't message you about all this shit. So you have MK Ultra, which was this legitimate, confirmed after 1974 Privacy Act came out. Gerald Ford forced the release of the information of the CIA trying to release MK Ultra and also Operation Midnight Climax that occurred. But basically, it was this ordeal that ever since we received or we took in those Nazi scientists after Operation Paperclip in the 40s, yep. We were studying the use of psychedelics on mind control techniques so that we can get someone drugged up to go and like assassinate an enemy of the United States, someone like Fidel Castro or Stalin or whatever. And that if they were getting captured, they would literally have no physical or mental ability to remember who sent them out there to do that, and and so they were testing LSD and psychedelics on federal prison inmates, people in the military, and
Homeless.
and also in college campuses.
Hmm.
Hold on, I was pause it real quick. I want to make sure. All right, and anyway, so Charles Manson, when he got out of federal prison, the belief is that he was being tested on with the LSD while he was in federal prison, and then when he came out in like 1967, I believe it was the year, he was being fed and given LSD so that he can test it on his Manson family. And that's, everyone knows the whole ordeal. He killed Sharon Tate, uh, and anyway, we're getting at the JFK thing. Um, so at the time in 1963 is when he was assassinated, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
In November, he was trying to kick out the CIA director. He was trying, he was going to get rid of the CIA altogether. That was his goal. The guy who was the CIA director was the same guy that was running this entire operation of MK Ultra, and he's the same. I believe he's the same guy that also destroyed all of the documents and evidence before Gerald Ford forced him to, um, disclose all that information.
Hmm.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
In general, Disney, for example, has been pretty dark, and a lot of people have realized that for decades, and exposing a lot of
So,
stuff in their
well,
movies and
where
their
were we at?
TV
So,
shows.
yeah, I
It's
believe
not
he was
just Disney. I mean, it
director, and he
goes,
got all the
with all
documents
spectrums of
destroyed.
entertainment.
But
But
JFK.
a good one to look into is Monster Inc. I mean, well, let's talk about Monster Inc. real quick. I
Okay.
love the movie, great movie. I actually enjoyed it, but the message behind it kind of relates to what I'm about to speak about. What is their main purpose? The monsters. What do they do?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh, you never said. Well, they
No.
scare children, right? They
Okay.
scare children in order to gain energy. They'll take the energy from the screaming children and they capsulize and they use it for their own use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea or the theory that a lot of these conspiracy theorists have been talking about for years and decades about the child trafficking and the elites and how demonic they are and whatnot, and that they're being controlled by these, uh, I don't know, some people call them reptilians, demons, whatever. I don't. It's all far fetched as far as I'm concerned, but at the same time, there's a lot of evidence pointing to it as well. They will use children to extract adrenochrome, which was a big thing that was popping around the webs earlier this year. And I don't know if you've done any research on adrenochrome.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So starting again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's. I mean, okay. So what was the sorry to go back again on that. But the point of the Monsters Inc.
Yeah. So I was saying a lot of these theory or these conspiracy theorists talked about the reason why a lot of these evil individuals were abducting children, and a lot of it was for the extraction of adrenochrome, which actually became a very popular term in 2020 earlier this year. That the media found out about it and had to start disclosing what adrenochrome was, and it didn't last too long. It was probably a few weeks. But I mean, have you done any research on adrenochrome?
No, what is it?
Are you familiar with what it is at all?
I might have been told about it before.
So they've talked about it a lot. Actually, Alex Jones exposed it a long time ago, and it's only been referenced in like 3 films and maybe 1 book.
Okay.
And what adrenochrome is, from what you can read up on, and there's different things now as of this year because media is trying to spew out different information. But if you look at the older articles, it's adrenaline from an individual, and what happens is they'll extract the blood out of a screaming child or scared, horrific child after experiencing major trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And when oxygen touches the blood and hits the adrenaline in the blood, it becomes adrenochrome. And what these elites, from what they're saying, is when they consume the adrenochrome, it gives them this energy and power that is almost godlike, and it gives them that power of youth. And that's why what a lot of these conspiracy theorists, they say, when you look at images of these Hollywood celebrities or these elites that haven't been extracting this adrenochrome because of the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, they start looking sickly and old, like Bill Clinton, for example. There's a lot of photos of him looking really sick and old. It just looked like he was dying.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are a lot of conspiracy theorists saying that he's not taking any adrenochrome. And it's all, like I said, it's all a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it's true, but a lot of it is linking up to why these individuals are abducting children and why there's been this giant thing of pedophilia and sex trafficking. Something happened within our society to where it killed off our consciousness to freely think and be free. Mm-hmm. And they're using, you know, these evil tactics from media, academia, and food, even food. And it's true. Like, we can go into what we consume. A lot of it has been genetically modified. You know, the big thing that no one wants to talk about is fluoride and how dangerous fluoride really is. And they put it in our foods.
Yeah, I've heard conflicting things about fluoride.
You know, did you know how the whole fluoride in the water started?
Doesn't it have something to do with like killing the bacteria in our water supply or something like that?
No. This is exactly where it started. So back in the 30s, there was a company called Alcoa. Alcoa was a big manufacturer in aluminum, and they were using so much aluminum that they had all this toxic waste left over from the aluminum, and it was a compound derived that created fluoride, and they didn't know what to use it for. And I guess the company Alcoa had a scientist that they hired, and that scientist was doing studies on fluoride with rats. And in 1939, a single biochemist from that company that they hired, sponsored by Alcoa, showed that in a lab that fluoride would be able to fix cavities in rats. And that was the main excuse. So, like, fuck it, we can say that to the public, because a lot of the laboratories that do experiments before they give it to humans, they do it on rats, because apparently rats have some type of similarity to humans when it comes to like the immune system and digestion, etc. So they say. And so in 1939 they released that, and after that, because of a single biochemist, they started releasing fluoride in the water.
Oh wow. Huh.
And you can look that up. It's all true.
To fix cavities of mice? Of lab rats?
Of rats, yeah. Lab rats.
Why the fuck would we even care about fixing cavities for lab rats?
Well, that's the thing. They knew that it was that fluoride was going to be able to block something within the human mind. And so, I have the individual's names. Yeah, her name was, her name is Jennifer Ann Luke. She did a study in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And in her study, the effect of fluoride in the sociology of the pineal gland, found out that fluoride itself, with so much of it, can block out the pineal gland's main ability, which a lot of spiritual individuals claim to be the third eye. I'm pretty sure you know about that.
That's where the DMT is released after death, right?
So they say that, you know, there's not enough evidence for that, but yes, they believe that when you die,
pine cone, right? The pine cone. Is it supposed to look like a pine cone or some shit like that?
It's exactly, or it looks like the eye of the Egyptian. The Egyptian eye that you see on hieroglyphics and stuff. Yeah. They believe that's not actually an eye. They believe it's the pineal gland, because they were more in tune with consciousness, and they were able to speak with beings and all this other crazy stuff. But she came out with this study, and it showed that all of this fluoride, not only was it cancerous and dangerous to us, but it was making us dumber. It was also showing that it would kill the reproduction system in male. I think it was male rats too, or male. I forgot which animals they were testing on, but it was killing the reproduction system. It was making us dumber and weaker. And so there was photos that they did and showed that
was that what was changing the gender of frogs?
That's something that Alex Jones said. I think so. He's saying they're poisoning the water.
Remember, he was saying like it's turning the frogs gay. Everyone was just making fun of them. But then, it was hermaphrodite frogs So it was
Yeah,
turning males into females and vice versa.
yeah. So
So,
in a way, it was the conspiracy on the fluoride and the food, because it goes even deeper. It's not just Alcoa. There was another company, I have it written down, that was manufacturing seeds, and it was a big company. Where's the name of it? I have it here. Uh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's find his toxin on that. I don't have it on here, but there was another company that was doing experiments with seeds and genetically modifying seeds where they weren't actually organic. It was all fake shit that they were feeding us. I mean, even to today, you can go to McDonald's. There's a big thing with McDonald's or Taco Bell where the beef wasn't 100% beef, and same with they're using some type of weird crap to put in our food, and it just goes deeper into that. They're doing this to control us. What a conspiracy is. They're doing everything they can to control us so that we cannot think for ourselves. We have to believe everything they tell us is true.
yeah, compliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that eliminates the whole thing of us having free will.
Yeah.
So, but I know we're going way off topic on the whole kind of thing, but it still relates to what's going on. A lot of this has been exposed. The problem is nobody wants to do the research on it. They just want to believe what the tube tells them.
Yeah.
And I was one of them. I'll agree to you. I believed everything the TV told me. Everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. CNN was saying this. Oh, shit. Fox News was saying this. It must be true. Yeah. But then I think it was this year, they even showed it at one of the press conferences at the White House, that all these they took clips of all these major news medias from all over the country, and they were all saying the same exact thing.
Yeah,
verbatim.
It is, yeah. I've noticed that too. I've noticed that a lot. Like the last time I saw it was, which was it? Oh gosh, which debate was it? Oh no, it was the town halls that they had at the same time of Biden and President Trump. And I literally went on not only the local channel. I think Trump was in Philadelphia. I looked at one of the news articles at the local Philadelphia one, and then I looked at the article of a national one, and they were literally written word by word the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same fucking thing.
All different. They're all owned by different media companies, but either one individual or certain individuals are writing this context to give to these companies to tell their people what to say.
Yeah.
And not only that, it goes back into an operation that the U.S. government did under the CIA, Operation Mockingbird. And I still believe Operation Mockingbird is in effect.
Operation Mockingbird? What?
Mm-hmm. I think that was in the 50s.
Let's take a look at that. Let's look that one up. Jamie, what is Operation Mockingbird? It's just a one man show here, Operation Mockingbird.
You need to get yourself a Jamie.
Yeah, I do need a producer. I need to get bigger first. See, Operation Mockingbird is an alleged large-scale program of the United States CIA that began in the early years of the Cold War and attempted to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. It funded student and cultural organizations and magazines as front organizations. According to author Deborah Davis, Operation Mockingbird recruiting leading American journalists into a propaganda network and influenced the operations of front groups. CIA support of front groups was exposed when a 1967 Ramparts magazine article reported that the National Student Association received funding from the CIA. In 1975, Church Committee Congressional Investigations revealed agency connections with journalists and civic groups. None of the reports, however, mentions by name an Operation Mockingbird coordinating or supporting these activities. Wow.
Yeah.
It gets dangerous because the CIA becomes like its own like untouchable entity almost, in the sense that it's separate from the executive branch, right? Isn't it
correct? And that's one of the things that President Trump has mentioned before.
Yeah.
That these organizations, to include the FBI. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad people. There's a lot of good people within the CIA, and there's a lot of good people within the FBI as well. Even the NSA, and the problem is they become their own identities. They become their own governments. and they're taking control of everything that we do, our livelihoods.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I wouldn't put it past them.
And who was one of the biggest whistleblowers to expose all that? Was Snowden.
I just wrote that I just wrote it on my notes, bro. I just
No
wrote
way.
that shit.
Really?
Yeah. Right here is one of my topics. I put on there, free Snowden. You know. Yeah, exactly.
Snowden. You know, and I remember when that story broke, the media wanted to portray him as the biggest traitor of mankind.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He exposed it.
I listened to one with the reporter that broke his story, and he was saying on how Joe Biden, going off of the policy of the president, wink, wink, was telling the countries that were possibly going to give him asylum, Snowden asylum, that if you do, then we're going to cut off any kind of aid, we're going to break off any treaties. And basically sabotaging it because Snowden wasn't supposed to be going to Russia. He was supposed to go Ecuador. I can't remember exactly what country.
Yeah.
And but once he landed in Russia, that's when they cut off his passport. And when he tried to seek asylum to the countries he was aiming towards, they were like, we can't do that because we
don't want our aid to be cut off.
Beijing Biden's telling us we can't, he's going to take our funding away.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's insane. And I mean, the plot keeps getting deeper and deeper. I mean, there's such a deep rabbit hole that the answer lies at the bottom. The problem is if we try to reach that bottom, we can't determine whether it's true or not because we have so many individuals that are brainwashed, including ourselves. We don't know the truth. We want to know the truth. Our whole purpose in life is to know the meaning of the universe and why we're here. But why are they not showing that? Us as humans need to know why we're here. We can go into religious context. That helps us out a lot, no matter what religion you are. I can get deeper into that as well as to, I'll bring that topic up right now with religion, because that's a big control of mind control within the human race.
Yeah.
Is religion man-made or was it made by God?
Oh man. Or can you even say that it was made by other beings out there that contacted us before, we even became the human beings we are today?
There's proof of that, though.
Yeah,
there is proof of that. I mean, I've been studying on my own. I've been studying and reading up about the Anunnaki. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I believe so. Yeah. I have.
Okay, so it's a very ancient race that they believe is not from this world. They were gods, and the story goes even deeper to who they were. There's a backstory behind them as well. And the individual to release all this information was Zachariah Sitchin, I think. Zachariah Sitchin. If you can look that up, see if I'm saying the name right.
What was it? Zachariah what?
Zachariah Sitchin.
Sitchin? I don't know if I even spoke. Zachariah Sitchin? No.
Let me see if I can find his name real quick.
Sitchin. The official. Zachariah Sitchin.
Sitchin. There you go.
Okay. I got his stuff all fucked up.
So apparently he devoted his entire life to study and read the tablature and text of the Anunnaki, or the Sumerian text is what they call it. It's actually the Sumerians that wrote about these beings, and they talked about the story of how they got here, who we are, and explained that us as humans, we were created as a plot of slavery. We were the only reason why we were here was to grab gold and to give gold to these gods who were elites. And there was two sides, the Anunnaki, and then there was the I forgot the other name of the gods. There was different gods apparently that came from different planets, and it was really weird, really out of this world. It relates to Mars. How we had Mars at one time was colonized, and then there was a epic celestial war that created the stars and everything. It was very interesting. What he said, and a lot of people thought he was just a quack, but the thing is he studied these writings and the the wall paintings in this society that existed way before us, and what they believed in. And it's some type of key that related to religion, the creation of religion. I mean, it talks about the floods, it talks about climate change. Yes, climate change was real. At one point the human race was, trying to survive and understand climate change, but it destroyed everything. And that was taught
Mm-hmm.
about the secret, or the about the city of Atlantis was part of it. Because of climate change, it destroyed Atlantis because people weren't consciously helping each other anymore. Everyone became divided. It was really weird, dude. There's a lot to it. It's really deep. If you want to learn more about it, I suggest you read the books
Mm-hmm.
of what he wrote about the Anunnaki, and another YouTube channel that I've been watching. And like I said, just have an open mind. I'm
Yeah.
watching. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying any of it's true at all.
Anunnaki.
Is what was the name of it? Spirit Science on YouTube. Spirit Science on YouTube. Very interesting. These guys have dedicated pretty much their lives to this stuff, into uniting mankind back to who we were as a species once before.
Uh-huh.
It was very interesting. It talks about talks about genetics. It talks about extra dimensional beings and all this other crazy shit. But it also relates into religion as well, how religion was created. Because I mean, when you read the book, any book like the Quran or the Bible or the Torah, what have you, it's always individuals speaking about their firsthand experiences with God, or who they perceive as God, the
Huh.
Creator.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's
And
just, go ahead.
what's that? Oh, they always talk about this evil force that. It's funny because there was in part of Zachariah's studies to talked about other civilizations that had these gods within their cultures. I forgot which cultures it was, but it talked about these beings that took control of these people that had snake-like looking skin and faces, and they were reptilian-like. It was really interesting. And then I started laughing when I read about that. It's like, maybe the reptilians are real. They're shapeshifters, and they're maybe still living among us. And it gets very far-fetched, but then it gets deeper into the fact that they wanted to control our consciousness and keep us enslaved. And we're still living in that same exact realm. We've never broke out of. We've lost our way of life. We've lost our way of consciousness. We're not free anymore. And we're still being controlled by whatever evil beings these are.
Huh.
It's very weird. Very, very weird.
Do you think that's true today?
Well, as we're still being controlled.
Yeah. Or at
Yes,
least
most
trying to.
definitely. Oh, most definitely. Look for example, social media. Everyone's trying to post. I can't even say Alex Jones's name without getting banned. I can't even post anything without saying Q on there without getting banned. Why are they going so hard? These individuals and these companies going so hard into deleting this content and claiming it as fake news. If I was that individual, if I did something very wrong, and someone was trying to expose the shit out of me, I'll try every which way to make sure nobody knows what I did.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I'm going to be scared shitless. Everyone has a reputation. Everybody does.
Wow.
So why are they going so far as to trying to discredit that information?
Yeah. Because they have an agenda. They have. They want to control it. They know that by feeding off your emotions that they got you, that you get angry by it. They say, the algorithms on social media, if I get outraged by this, they're going to start feeding me more of that, because in my human nature, am I more likely to comment on a Vox bullshit article that I think is completely wrong and I think is fabricated and bullshit, or am I more likely to comment on something that I enjoy more, like a hobby?
Correct.
I catch myself responding more often on pages or on groups that oppose my opinion, oppose my views, because it upsets me, or I feel like I need to put them in their place. But I've learned, and I've had to teach myself, that it literally, by responding, I'm feeding to them, I'm benefiting them, and I'm not doing any justice to myself. I'm not feeding myself. No one's going to change their fucking mind off of my single goddamn comment.
Nope.
So why try? I'm just getting myself upset for nothing. but that's how they get you drawn in. It's that addiction, man, for some reason. And that's just the way that, human nature is. It's
And
amazing.
that's what they're doing. They're controlling every aspect of your mind. They're not allowing you to have free will to think.
Yeah.
And I say it again for what I saw in these videos from Spirit Science. Really, and I say this because that channel is very interesting. It really opened my mind. A lot of things they say or said. As funny as this is, because I've talked about this before with you, is that after having my first shroom experience, I saw everything differently. I actually had a spiritual experience. I know I became more enlightened
Mm.
with the universe and to why we're here, who we are. I don't know the answers. I want to know the answers why we're here. I want to know who we are. And they kind of related that, and it's true, that truth is often stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can never accept the truth because it's too hard to accept.
Yeah.
It is very hard to accept the truth.
You're right. You're right. I kind of wanted to backpedal a little bit because I kind of
Yes.
wanted to make the topic, and it's great stuff. I mean, this
Yeah,
is all
yeah,
stuff that I
yeah.
want to go over. But one thing I kind of want to make clear, and I want like kind of break it down for everyone that's listening, is when it involves QAnon, because everyone's talking, and one of the biggest things that becomes a blemish on it is Pizzagate. And what
Yes.
exactly is Pizzagate, and where did it all come from?
It was with Julian Assange, wasn't he the first to expose all that on WikiLeaks?
I don't know. I mean, was it even? But is it? But isn't Pizzagate like this belief that there's that pizza shop that's outside DC or inside
Yes.
DC that is supposed to be the place where they traffic kids, and then one guy even came up and shot the place up and was
Correct.
arrested.
Yes.
But you,
Yes.
but you're saying
Oh,
it
go ahead.
was? Oh, you're right. Yeah. So it says in March 2016, the personal email account of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's
Podesta. Hmm.
campaign manager, was hacked in a spear phishing attack. WikiLeaks published his emails in November 2016. Proponents of the Pizzagate conspiracy theory falsely claimed the emails contained coded messages that connected several high-ranking Democratic Party officials in
Yep.
U.S. restaurants with an alleged human trafficking and child sex ring. And that's where it comes, the Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and you know what else relates to that too? That happened
Mm-hmm.
this year as well. That got exposed. I don't know if you remember hearing about it. Was the Wayfair incident
Mm-hmm.
with Wayfair?
What it was
That
supposed to
was
be.
crazy.
So I actually had to, because I saw the memes coming out. Like
Yeah.
when famous celebrities get their Wayfair cabinet. What it looks like. When they open it up because it's like a kid or some shit inside.
That's
I had to
fucked
look
up.
into that one because I didn't quite get it. I'm like Wayfair, like what the fuck? And then
So
so it had
yeah.
something to do with the way that they were selling the furniture on Wayfair. It was a
Hmm.
code because it was a female name, a
Yes.
name on there, and then there was a
Or male
price
name.
or a male
Yeah.
name, yeah,
Yep.
and a price associated with it that did not fit the furniture or some shit like
Correct.
that.
Yeah. It just looked like they reused images of other furniture.
Yeah.
They put the names of so-called missing individuals within the U.S. and the world. You can look up these. It's on the data. There's a database for missing individuals, and they linked these names, and it was amazing. It was like people were just going batshit crazy. Like there's no way. And it come to find out, who's the one person that Alex Jones despises in the entire world? He's literally at
Soros.
war with him, huh?
Soros.
Yes, George Soros. Guess who's a major investor in Wayfair?
No shit.
Yes,
Soros,
dude.
really?
I swear to God.
Let's take a
Look
look at
up.
Soros.
You can go on Forbes and look up all of George Soros' investments. Wayfair is one of them.
Wow, holy shit. Newsbreak.com says George Soros and Wayfair. Uh, Soros owns a large portion of Wayfair. Who funds Wayfair?
Yes. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. It keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Wow, wow,
Yep.
wow, wow. Because to go out, so for those that maybe not don't know the Wayfair scandal, it says, why is Wayfair, okay, according to azcentral.com, why is Wayfair accused of trafficking children? 7 things to know about the conspiracy theory. Um, and like, it probably goes farther in depth. What does Reddit have to do with it? The theory is that Wayfair is trafficking children on its website under the guise of selling home goods such as cabinets, throw pillows, and shower curtains. When somebody buys a product listed for thousands of dollars, theorists seem to believe that the person somehow indicates a desire to purchase a child whose name is also the product name. I've seen the pictures of it too, and it is true that these products did have names of people on it. Here's one. It says, "My spidey senses are tingling." Let's see if I can get a clearer picture. Like this one, missing from Columbus, Ohio, 17-year-old Samaya Moomin. And then there was a Samaya 5-shelf storage cabinet for almost $13,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of coincidence is that?
Yeah, like cue the wake up. Wow. That is fucking... They've named these overpriced cabinets after missing children because they are selling children, child sex trafficking, and organ trafficking right in plain sight. This is how the elites do things right in your face. Storage cabinet for fucking $13,000?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's fucking crazy.
And, you know, and another thing that I praise Trump for, you know, we all know Trump is not a politician.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, and I'm not going to say he was also the perfect human being, because he was not. And he admit that, you know. One of the speeches that he did right before he got elected, it was very, very motivating when I watched it. It was very inspirational. He literally said, and I have to send you the video. It's on YouTube. It's called the speech that will get Trump reelected. Is that he talked about his life? He says, I lived such a amazing life. I was, you know, eating off of the fruits of the riches and stuff like that. You know, I had everything I could ever ask for, but it wasn't. Something happened within that lifestyle that opened his mind up, knowing that there was so much corruption that he wanted to give back to the American people, because he knew that he was probably part of these elites. It was really interesting. It was a really neat speech. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. And it's true. He does care about Americans, and he does care about peace. I mean, he's the only president I know within just a year now, the past 2 years, has created peace with other countries.
Yeah.
Multiple. Just recently, what was it, like last month, he did a peace treaty?
So the whole thing is that he's been nominated 3 times for the Nobel Peace Prize within a week and a half, or within 2 weeks. Okay. And what it was one with the Bahrain and Israel.
Yes.
And then he just had one, I think, literally last week, 2 weeks ago, another one. Oh gosh,
There was one with Kosovo as well, with the whole Serbia-Albania thing.
He's trying to. It's all with Israel. Abraham Record Peace. Abraham Accords. Let's see here. October 23rd is the most recent one. Donald Trump brokers a historic peace agreement between Israel and Sudan. That's what it was.
Gotcha.
It was the most recent one. Yeah. And it's 3 countries. He's trying to knock out all these countries, which again is Jared Kushner put, spearheading the shit, which everyone thinks, he's, which is pretty cool. I'll get to this one here in a second, but
okay.
which believes that Jared Kushner, everyone's been criticizing Trump about he can't be putting his fucking son-in-law into the positions of government there. I'm like, wait, no one was bitching when JFK put his brother as the attorney general,
Exactly.
but
exactly.
But him spearheading that, he brought the Sudan. But anyways, he was trying to knock off these Muslim countries, so that the ultimate peace treaty would be between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And if he can accomplish that, that would be fucking phenomenal. Right. And a lot of people on the left are saying, or especially the news outlets that want to see he's just extorting these countries. And I'm like, no, the fuck he's not. He's saying, what you can expand your trade, you can make more money if you just guys accept that Israel is, a nation of Jews, in the world, and you guys could open up trade, make more fucking money that way. So,
but the picture is a lot bigger than just money. You know, it's not just about economics. It's about actual unity and peace throughout the whole world.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And I agree with that. I would love peace. But for some reason, individuals on the left, and it goes on the right as well. I want to speak about it on the right. There is so much fucking hate. There is so much hate on both sides.
And this is a criticism of both sides too. Yeah, I agree with you. It's because, like we said before, war brings money. You got the the military-industrial complex, and Trump has even brought that up, but no one will ever fucking echo that what he said. You know, him and Eisenhower said it, and it just goes silent in the entire world because not only do fucking, because I loved it when he was pulling out the troops from Syria, in northern Syria, and everyone on both sides blew up. The moment I knew AOC was against him pulling out troops because she said that we're betraying our allies, when I know for a fucking fact that her and her party runs on the ticket of peace, we pull our troops out, bring them home, blah blah blah, no war. When she's even supporting war, I never understood that. He exposed it, both fucking sides, because no one wants to pull out of there, but he does, and because we just keep spewing money. It brings up another question. Does that mean that if we get out of war, does the American economy start to tank? I don't know, but it's because war brings money. War is money.
It does. And you know who was a big factor of that made me realize about the whole war is money was General Mattis.
Yeah, exposed his ass too, huh?
He exposed his ass so big that I was big surprised when I heard about Trump signing on General Mattis. Like, fuck yeah, America, that's what I'm talking about. Dude's a badass. Then we come to find out this dude's just a pawn in the elite group.
Yeah. Where is he working at now? Doesn't he work on someone's board?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to his ass after that whole thing about him and Trump clashing. But
so former Defense Secretary James Mattis returns to General Dynamics' board of directors.
Well, there you go.
And that was August 9th, 2019, according to CNBC.
He was opposed of us getting out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Now you are an Iraq vet yourself.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: do we think we needed to be there at all?
Oh man, no. I mean that's
I know this is hard. It's hard to talk about for a lot of veterans. But realistically, what started that? It was 9/11. And we can go even deeper into the conspiracy of that, because everybody knows now that that's all bullshit.
We know
a lot of people don't.
That obviously there was no WMDs in the country.
No,
and that was
never.
And that was what we had based our reasoning to go into the country in the first place.
Right.
Kinda. It was kind of like this big storm of things where we had like so much shit happening with the Patriot Act and like terrorism and anti-terrorism that I feel like Iraq was just one of those conflicts that we just kind of like got thrown in there just so that we can, because isn't there like proof of like us taking like a whole bunch of gold bars and like stacking trucks up full of gold out of like Saddam's palace and shit like that?
Yeah. Yes. And that did happen.
And to maintain our oil fields and interests in Kuwait and all that.
Correct. But it goes deeper into that. Who was Iraq keeping in check? It was Iran. Yeah,
they were.
And after we killed Saddam, Iran just started going batshit crazy. And who started making deals with Iran?
Iraq. Al-Qaeda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And us too.
Yeah. That's right.
It's insane.
Because those EFPs that were like, and a lot of IEDs and all the designs that were coming from Soleimani in Iran, just going right across the border. Yeah. Which fuck him.
Fuck's sake, Al-Qaeda was created by the CIA.
Really?
1980s.
Al-Qaeda, or are you confusing that with the Taliban?
Or is it the Taliban?
Yeah, so
It was Taliban. It was
Taliban
Taliban.
was
My bad.
funded, to be anti-Soviet forces when
Correct.
the
It was a
Soviet Union
proxy
came in
war.
'79. Yeah,
It was a proxy war against the
Charlie Wilson's
Russians.
War. There's a whole movie
Hmm.
with that one alleged pedophile starring as Charlie Wilson.
Shit. I figured.
Tom
But yeah,
Hanks.
dude, it's just everything's starting to tie in together. You know, the realization, the Great Awakening is going to happen. But what's scary is the left or these elites, I want to call them, are spewing this information about this great change that's coming. A Time magazine did an article on it
Uh-huh.
about the new coming that's happening within society, not just America but the whole world. It's kind of fucking scary. It's something I don't want.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
to shut down our economies. They want to force us into doing certain. I mean, for the whole mask thing. Look, you know, I can get in so many debates about this. Wear your fucking mask. Stop bitching. Blah 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 blah. But can we look at the bigger picture and the facts? Like the CDC just came out a month ago about actual statistics about survival rates of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 99 something percent, dude.
Yeah. Fraction of percent depending on age.
And then they also talked about it's not even considered a fucking pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't they downgrade it?
How ironic is it that this entire pandemic started during election year on the most hated individual in the entire world,
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Hey, to go on that, I wanted to bring this up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this. At the end of, let me pull up the article. I believe it was Harvard. Arrested for. This is very interesting. Harvard. Okay, let's see if I can find it. This is according to the justice.org. So this is on the government page.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Charles Lieber.
Okay.
Okay. Probably don't know his name. December 30th, he was detained by U.S. authorities. Oh, no, sorry. That was Zhao Song Zhang. Dr. Lieber was. Anyway, to put this into, like, in a nutshell, this was for immediate release, and you can find this on the United States Department of Justice. It's titled Harvard University Professor and 2 Chinese Nationals Charged in 3 Separate China-Related Cases. So this guy was kind of like a bioengineer of some sort. He was trying to do some kind of mechanical changes to that related to viruses, and so while he was doing these grants, federal grants, and doing the research at Harvard University, he was also receiving money from WUT, Wuhan University Technology.
No fucking shit.
Yeah, so he was receiving money from as a strategic scientist. He became a strategic scientist at Wuhan University of Technology in China, and was a contractual